Welcome everyone to a new update, and today we're going to discuss Solana and the ecosystem of Solana. And it's a fundamental update once again, as we've done Avalanche first. If you are interested in something that is in your portfolio or you want to have a fundamental update on a specific project, do not forget to comment that beneath. Also, if you do not forget, check out my Twitter and Instagram where you can find more content on my crypto journey. And also do not forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel and like the YouTube update if you enjoy the content. So today we're going to discuss Solana. And what you can see on the screen is the Solana update that we write in our platforms. And today we're giving you an insight in the fact that we're not only providing trade IDs, we're not only providing educational content, I'm not only providing trading on my own behalf, we're also providing fundamental projects and reviews. And one of them is Solana. And earlier we've discussed Avalanche, and that's one of the ecosystems that is set to benefit from scalability issues of Ethereum. We all know that multiple projects have been taking the spotlight from Ethereum as Ethereum has some scalability issues. And today we're going to do Solana. And as I stated, this is the report that we are making in our group ourselves. Another project that we will be discussing today will also be included. So Solana originally started in November of 2017. There's a few team members that are very important. One of them is Anatoly Yakovenko. He founded it, and before that he led the development of operating systems at Qualcomm, distributed systems at Massive Sphere, and compression at Dropbox. And he started he wrote a white paper in November 2017 based on the fact that actually Bitcoin and Ethereum had the issues of not being scalable. Another one that's very important is Greg Fitzgerald, principal architect of Solana. He began in 2018 prototyping the first open source implementation of the white paper that's written by Anatoly. So then the project was published on GitHub too, and then everything is history, as Solana is one of the heaviest upcoming ones. Leads operations and product and finance is Ray Gokal, and finally also heads data science and tokenomics, that is Eric Williams. Finally, Solana got launched in 2020 after 3 years of previous work. And if you were in it from the beginning, you've got some very interesting money that you've made out of it. So Solana itself, this is the website that we've got. We've got some key features as well that you should be looking into. Solana is designed to allow for fast block confirmation times, low transaction fees, and a high transaction throughput. Block confirmation time of around 400 ms, and near a zero transaction fees, and also 40 to 65k transactions per second. That is basically what everybody tries to achieve nowadays, is that the scalability is getting fixed, especially if you're looking at many transactions and users. Right now we are at currently we're seeing that we've got 2.2k transactions per second, and total transactions already 32 billion, with the costs being very low on Solana. And also what we see nowadays is the NFTs minting and the NFT game. Ethereum NFT minting is absolutely ridiculous, and when you get it on Solana, the prices are way better. Whereas Ethereum uses Solidity to write smart contracts, Solana uses C/C++ and Rust. Developers can recompile C and Rust code written to WASM compilers in the Solana compiler with minimal changes. Thus, developers can easily migrate their applications from other chains like Polkadot and Ethereum 2.0 to Solana. So, diving into some technical stuff of how Solana actually works. This is written in 2019. It is on architecture, and there's like a big block with everything that is including the actual technical background on Solana. And I'm going to discuss a little bit about the consensus, and we can see which 8 key innovations are actually part of the uniqueness of Solana. And that is the proof of history, Towered BFT, the turbine, Gulf Stream, sea level, pipelining, cloud break, and the last one as well. So we've done this in our research and our report as well, and we've been going through them. First of all, we've got the proof of history and tower BFT. Solana uses a mechanism called proof of history that allows validators to maintain their own clock to make the agreement on time easier. This is also what allows the network to schedule leaders for an entire epoch beforehand. So leader rotation does not require any communication between the validators, which increases the efficiency of the chain. This proof of history lies at the center of Solana's delegated proof of stake consensus mechanism called Tower Byzantine Fault Tolerance. Leaders produce blocks where the validators have to vote on. The periods wherein they can vote are about 400 ms long and are called slots. Once 2/3 of the validators have voted on some proof of hash, POH hash, it cannot be rolled back, allowing for the fast finality. That might be a little bit more too technical, but that is actually what is included, and that's what we've done here. And if you want to read more on that topic, you can go to the Solana page, and there is a blog post on it. If you want to have a short view on it, screenshot this and reread it again, but this is what we're doing in our group. Next one is the turbine. The turbine is the block propagation protocol of Solana. Because of this protocol, block leaders are not required to send the entire block to every single other node in the network. Instead, it is split into smaller pieces. These are then each sent to a different validator, which then sends it to a group of other validators. This continues with the group sending it to other groups that they are responsible for. This enhances the overall speed. Something that we have also been seeing on other projects is that they try to make many blocks rather than few big ones. Also been a discussion within Bitcoin in the community itself. But here you can see that Solana splitting it actually up. Finally, the Gulf Stream. Since leaders are elected well in advance, clients and validators can forward the transactions to different expected leaders ahead of time. By doing so, validators can confirm or deny transactions ahead of time, effectively reducing confirmation times, switching leaders faster, while also reducing the memory pressure on validators from the mempool. Sea level allows non-overlapping TX from smart contracts to be executed simultaneously. So thousands of smart contracts could be executed at the same time. So that is what they're trying to achieve in terms of scalability. When it comes to the pipeline, it's a process of transaction validation on Solana. Input data is assigned to different hardware responsible for each and leads to more efficiency in processing the data. On Solana, this mechanism is called a transaction processing unit. So this is all very technical, but that is the technical background on Solana itself. We are not going into staking at this point. But this is practically what it is. And the final one is actually Cloudbreak, which allows for the horizontal scaling of memory. Each additional disk adds storage capacity available to on-chain programs, as well as increasing the number of concurrent reads and writes programs that can perform when executing. So what about Solana at this stage, and what is the issue and the actual opinion that I have on Solana before we're going to dive into the actual growth and before we're going to dive into the rest? The issues it has is there's got higher requirements for nodes, and that what we just saw on the homepage as well. There's only 1,000 nodes, meaning that if there are higher requirements for nodes, it's more centralized, and you could be saying that that is an issue for the platform itself. Yes, it is faster, but it's also than Ethereum, but it's also more centralized than Ethereum. Then also the recent outage, something that is troubling to see is an outage of a blockchain network, especially one that has already billions of dollars circulating in this ecosystem, and that's what we're going to see in a bit. This is exactly what happened to the mainnet beta of Solana. On the 14th of September, the network was offline for 17 hours. And it's not the first time that it took place. It has happened before. So that is an issue, especially if you want to use a fully decentralized platform that works all the time. But we're still early, so it's still okay that it's actually taking place and that there is still progress to be made. But it's something to consider. My personal opinion, Solana has seen a high rate of adoption since its launch last year due to the improved user experience it has to offer compared to Ethereum. Although competition among layer 1s is high and will likely continue to be so as more are up and coming, Solana is one of the layer 1s that's currently enjoying a strong position in the market. And that's what we also see with the rapid growth of the price movements. Solana could be a great choice for DeFi and NFTs, but overall I'm still assuming that we're going to get an ecosystem rather than just one big platform. What remains of concern for the Solana ecosystem is the fact that it had 2 outages, as we just stated. That is something that is a big concern for me personally, and also that it's more centralized than Ethereum. But given the fact that we've got multiple platforms out there, we can state that there is multiple points of interest or investment opportunities too. Looking at the actual amount of locked up value into Solana, we can see that it's a lot. In the beginning of the year, we only had like 200 million TVL, and right now it's actually accelerating really fast as the community is also quite strong, and due to the fact of the explosion of DeFi and NFTs and the amount of projects that want to build on Solana. For instance, Radium is one of them. We've seen the expansion of the total value locked in Solana increasing to over 10 billion with an all-time high around 12 billion at this stage. So unsurprisingly, the most projects built on Solana are active in the DeFi industry as 104 projects, of which 27 are AMM exchanges, followed by NFT projects at 74. There might be even more, but right now DeFi is even growing to 112 and NFT is 120. That is how fast we can see it growing, as this is probably within the past 2 weeks it went from 74 to 120, because simply minting your NFTs on Ethereum is a yoke. So this is in line with the overall trend. We see the expansion of DeFi, we see the expansion of NFTs, and especially that those are the corners where you should be looking at if you want to invest. Also, we all know him, Sam Alameda. He is very much involved into Solana. And Solana has some of those major backers. Of one of them is Sam Bankman, CEO of Alameda and FTX. He early this year in June, Solana Labs received 314 million in investments from SBF, among other huge names. So that is very big. If you have that capital behind you, then of course, if the developments are increasing and more people are adapting towards your platform, it will be growing quite fast. Looking at the price action of Solana, we can see the vertical chart along with the fact that TVL also increased heavily. So the higher TVL, well, it goes hand in hand. If the prices go up, TVL is also increasing heavily. But we've seen 2 cycles, and we also saw that Solana is one of the biggest gainers since May 2021, the actual crash. At this stage, jumping into Solana is quite tricky, to be honest. If you're looking at the price action, you want to look at any support levels to jump into. So you're looking at any of those ranges to potentially build your position towards the next run, as the assumption is that we most likely are going to get another run over it in the next phase of this bull cycle. And that is the phase where Bitcoin pairs start to accelerate quite heavily. As we saw in 2022, heavy crash of the Bitcoin pairs. So that's meaning that you generally don't want to rush into your positions when it comes to Solana against Bitcoin, as right now Bitcoin is taking the spot. What is the area that you should be looking at? Probably anything around these zones. Between 13k and 16k sats is where you should be looking at, or maybe even 19k. especially with this vertical chart, you should not be FOMOing into it. But if you look at lower levels, that is where you can get the actual point of interest or where you want to get it going. So those levels are interesting where for Solana to buy, but I think it will be one of the biggest gainers in the coming period, or at least in the period where altcoins start to do well, which is Q1 2022. Some projects that are being built on Solana, of course, everybody knows Serum. Serum DEX is built on Solana, but offers bridging with Ethereum and other chains through a wormhole, with more bridging solutions to follow in the futures. It has a decentralized order book and allows users to submit limit orders. Serum is not an AMM DEX like we have seen increasingly since last year. Instead, it leverages Radium's AMM liquidity. Serum's goal is to create a Solana-focused hub of DeFi projects that use its exchange for liquidity. And also, it's built on Solana, and it's also being co-founded by Sam Bankman, the CEO of the FTX Exchange and CEO of Alameda Research. The ecosystem of Serum and this corner of Solana is currently around 19 projects, and you can see that there is also a big bunch of partners involved into Serum at this stage. So Alameda Research invests also 35 million into the Phantom Foundations. So the ecosystem is around 19 projects, and one of them is the investment into Phantom Foundation. By doing so, it started a collab between the Phantom core team to integrate Solana, Serum, and Radium into the Phantom ecosystem. Alameda also participated in a 314 million fundraise for Solana Labs, as we just discussed previously. The next project is Radium. As you can see, Franklin, one of our team members, has been making a project review on Radium 2, discussing everything that's surrounding in DeFi. What is Radium? Radium is an AMM exchange with the X multiplied I is K curve, the original Uniswap curve. As mentioned, Radium leverages a Serum. The pool AMM will place orders on the Serum order book, allowing liquidity to be traded on the Radium trading page or any other Serum DEX. Radium also has Accelerator, which is its native IDO launchpad for Solana native projects. So it regularly brings new projects to the ecosystem, which they are then listed on its DEX as well. The team is anonymous, but of course it's partnered with Solana. So those are projects, and recently, probably everybody has seen it, another one got listed on KuCoin, which is Solrazr, and it's the first decentralized developer ecosystem for Solana. We've been seeing those launchpads being developed on Avalanche. I've discussed it there too. We've got it on Cardano, we've got it on Polkadot, and now we also get multiple ones on Solana. And this is the recent one that's on a centralized exchange on KuCoin. As with any large ecosystem, there are a growing number of launchpads that have gone live, which is Solrazr is the recent one. Solrazr has a number of features through which they aim to make the whole token sale process a lot fairer and safer, including customizable pools. What they do different, however, is utilizing NFTs to achieve this. Allocations are tokenized with NFTs, which is the next layer on DeFi, which makes whitelist spots tradable and transferable. Users have to stake Solrazr to gain access to this. Ts are defined based on the amount of Solrazr staked. Higher Ts get a higher token allocation in the sale. Solrazr is also looking at cross-chain pools by leveraging the wormhole bridge. It sees itself more as Solana's first decentralized developer ecosystem. Besides a launchpad, it also has an accelerator and developer tools called Solrazr Build. Through the accelerator, Solrazr incubates projects and assists them with a strategy, funding opportunities, mentorship, market exposure, etc. Solrazr Build helps developers build, test, monitor, debug, document, and publish Solana dApps. So, I hope you have enjoyed this update on Solana ecosystem, Serum, Radium, Solrazr, some technical background. It's not my expertise completely, but I'm trying this out to make the YouTube a little bit more broader. I hope you have enjoyed it. I'll be back tomorrow with a fresh new one, fresh new update, and I'll see you again soon. Don't forget to subscribe and have a wonderful day.